TYTSports, Ben Mankiewicz, Francis Maxwell. Switzerland and France just wrapped up their second game of the World Cup. And I didn't think it was possible after watching Italy play today that anyone could look worse than Italy. But, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Swiss.
Yeah.
What happened?
So, Switzerland, well, as remember we talked about, they were the top seed in this group, and you know how I talked about this, the seeding is bullshit, basically, right? And this just proves my point to this aspect. The Swiss came in and they looked so shaky from the start, and to be honest, France looked concentrated this year. They looked like they're focused, and straight from the get-go, they were out to put the pressure on. Olivier Giroud, who got his first start of the World Cup, scored a header, but what happened on the header was he rose from the corner and he heads it and it's gone into the corner. You've got a guy on the post who can clear it when the goalkeeper can't get it. So he's going to easily knock this ball away, but the goalkeeper makes a last-ditch effort instead of leaving it to his defender, puts it into his own net, and that kind of summarises the Swiss that full afternoon. They were just all over the place.
So I'm curious whether this happens in soccer the way it does sometimes in other games. Frequently it's for a brief period of time. Like you'll see a basketball player, a star basketball player will get hurt, and for a few games, those guys will rally around, and where you think they got no. It seems a little different in soccer, and I'm curious because France lost their best player, right?
Exactly.
Ribery's not in the tournament.
Yeah.
Yet France, through 2 games, granted one of them was against Honduras, but they've looked dominant. They look unbeatable. I get it that they haven't. We need to see them against some other competition, but they look fantastic. Is it possible that a team relies so much on a star player that when he's out, other guys' roles expand and the team actually gets better?
Yeah, I think that's a great point to make. It's because, which I said to you before, a big factor is Benzema, the striker, who's adapted a part of his game to bring other players around him. And he has made sure to bring in other guys like Valbuena and Giroud now, who's playing, because they can't rely on Ribery and his good looks for the competition, you know what I mean? So they need to rely on the fact that as a team, collectively, France has struggled. The previous competition, they had a big fight out with the coach. This year, they're here to make a point that they're united. When they celebrate, they all celebrate together. And they banged in, they went 5-0 up against the Swiss. I mean, they looked dominant throughout. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, the French went through the Swiss defense like it was the French.
I thought you were going to go for it. I thought you were going to go through the Swiss cheese.
No. Like it was the French. See, the French defense. It was a World War II joke. It was a standard French World War II joke. Come on, Francis.
A bit past my time. Oh yeah, I need to tune up.
We got to wrap this up. We got to wrap it up. But Italy looked horrific. I was struck by how many fouls Costa Rica committed, meaning they were way more aggressive.
Yeah.
And that Italy had 11 offsides. They looked like rookies. They looked like they weren't trying. It was
almost as if they had a call from a certain TYTSports host that went, "Hey, why don't you just don't win this game and then England will go out?"
No.
As if something happened, you know what I mean?
Maybe.
But anyway, so we need to quickly wrap up with the Turk and the jerk.
Oh, yeah, right.
The Turk of the game has to go to Valbuena, the guy that I said who's kind of stepped up as that Ribery role for the midfield. He played a huge part in some of the goals. Missed a chance from 2 yards off the bar from the penalty, but he got himself a goal. Played well. And the jerk, funnily enough, Benzema had a great game. But I don't know if did you see Switzerland's free kick for their goal?
Yeah.
He literally treated that ball like it was a bomb coming to him. It was driven on the ground and he lifted his leg and made an unbelievable facial expression to move out the way of the ball, and it entered back in.
Aren't you allowed to do that when it's 5-0?
Well, I suppose 5-0, but
the rules are a little different at 5-0.
There's a certain rule in this sport to be aggressive and manly that you don't move away from the ball.
I was frustrated because I had over 7.5 goals in the game, and I just didn't quite get it.
It was close, but as I said, France dominant. Switzerland, I still think will come through, and we'll go out. We'll make it in this group.
All they got to do is they got to beat Honduras.
Yeah, got to beat Honduras, which is. I don't think it's too much of a task, considering their performance against France, but don't count anyone out.
But real quick, I know we got to go, but they don't just have to beat Honduras, because if everybody beats Honduras, and then everybody could be left at, correct? Couldn't everybody be 2-1?
If Ecuador beats Honduras, then they're going to be the same situation as
So it could come down to goals, and losing 5-2 does not help.
Exactly. But
so they got to beat Honduras, and they got to beat them.
Yeah, they got to beat Honduras, but I would put my money on France beating Ecuador.
Right. Okay. There you have it.
Thank you very much.